I know. I normally don't do a whole lot of video blogs on here, but after my video from last night on the passing of Robin Williams, a few things have come up since then that I've seen in the media that I wanted to talk about, and a little bit of ranting and raving about, I guess you could say. First of all, it was announced today that he had been in the early stages of Parkinson's disease. My family's well aware of that disease. My grandpa, before he passed away in May of 2000, he, for a few years, had been dealing with that, and it's not an easy disease to see and deal with. Going from someone who was perfectly healthy and getting around really well to suddenly dealing with headaches. He had a lot of violent outbursts, which was really difficult because he never swore. He never got violent. Well, he didn't get really violent, in terms of fighting or anything like that. But he would just start cussing up a storm, complaining about headaches all the time. Eventually, he had trouble getting around and was bedridden, and then unfortunately had to go into a rest home with my grandma, who at the time also had severe arthritis. So seeing him go downhill, I know how difficult the disease is to deal with. And I mean, it's not an excuse to take one's life, but at the same time, it's you look at all the energy Robin Williams had, and all the stress recently with losing his show, which he, from everything I read online, he was looking forward to the show getting renewed after that first season, and I think it all just came together, and unfortunately that's what probably pushed him over the edge. One thing that's been really difficult, and I really hate the media for this, is the details on how he killed himself being revealed. And granted, yes, it's going to be public knowledge and the police reports and everything, but I mean, the media is putting all the graphic details of how he tried to how he killed himself, and it's like it's difficult enough knowing that he committed suicide, but when you start throwing in the details like that, I mean, it makes it even more difficult to deal with, because we all knew him as the funny man on TV or in the movies, or the really the sincere, down-to-earth guy that he was as well. And the way he took his life, it doesn't match up with what we saw. And it's just, they shouldn't be releasing details like that. I'm sorry, but it's just too much, right? Especially right now, right after he died. I know another thing that's happened too is his daughter apparently was getting all kinds of hate messages on Twitter, which, I mean, seriously, she's suffering an even bigger loss than we are. I mean, to lose your dad to something that was preventable, suicide, and that's, let them have their peace. Don't go haranguing them for whatever. I mean, people are, I guess, I think I read in one article, people were complaining that the family wasn't posting pictures of him with the family and stuff. Family is a private thing. You can be as open or as private with your family as you want. Respect the family's privacy. That's my opinion. They're going through an even more difficult time than we are. I mean, they knew him much more better than we knew him, and let them have their space. Let them go through the grieving process and everything. Yes, give them support and, the condolences and everything, but, as far as, when pumping them for information or pictures and stuff, cool it. Just stop that. I mean, it's ridiculous. And the other thing that really has me pissed off is there was I didn't read the full article, but apparently somebody on Fox News was talking about Robin Williams taking his life and called him a coward. And let me tell you something, unless you, like me, have gone through a time in your life where you've gotten to the point where you're considering taking your own life, you have no right to say that someone's a coward. You have no idea what is going on in that person's mind. And you know what? To call a person a coward for committing or even thinking of committing suicide, or getting pissed with them for wanting to commit suicide or something like that, that's not helping. I mean, it takes a lot out of a person to get to that point. I still remember that day. I mean, it took the day I attempted to take my life. I mean, it was just an incredible amount of stress I was under. And to get to that point, I mean, it just takes so much out of you to say someone's a coward for doing that. No, it was one of the most difficult things. Probably actually the most difficult thing I've ever had to deal with. And if you know someone's at that point, don't ignore it. Don't ignore it, don't trivialize it. And because if you ignore it or you trivialize it, you're just making it worse. And if you are at that point in your life where you're thinking about it, please talk to someone, get help. I know I said that last night in the video I put up last night. But to say that someone's a coward for taking their life is ridiculous. Look at all the good he did. I'm not talking just his work in TV and in movies or on stage. Look at all he did for charities, going overseas, Iraq, Afghanistan, and everywhere to entertain the troops. You hear about all these wonderful things he did, all the giving that he gave. It's not fair to call him a coward. I'm sorry, but anyone who calls him a coward is the coward. That's my opinion. So, anyways, I just needed to get some of this off my chest. That's been going on in my mind since reading some of the stuff online. So, thanks for listening.